Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Parampara. I think there is a echoing in the sounds.
Yeah, yeah, one minute, sir. Yes, Swamiji.
Okay. And there is a picture of a parrot in the center of the screen.
Yeah, that is me.
Okay. ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकम्. In our last session, we started discussion on this text called Upadesha Saara by Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi. We saw how the composition of this text came about, and the first, we also saw that the entire text is divided into 4 sections. Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi discusses 4 yoga: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, then Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and then Jnana Yoga. So in our last session, we already saw this Karma Yoga part. Kartuhu Ajnaya Prapyate Phalam, Karma Kim Param, Karma Tajjadam. So the Phala Prapti is as per the laws of karma, and the adhikara, the right to karma is ours, but the right to give phala is his, the Lord's. And also, Lord gives the phala, gives the result of the karma according to the rules that has been made, according to the law of karma. So, we do the karma, and then the result occurs, and that karma phala is according to the laws of karma. And here he says that karma kim param karma tajjadam. How can karma be superior? Because the ascetics in the Daruka one thought that they can attain anything through karma, through different types of rituals, different types of yajnas, havans, and so on. But karma is done by the limited instruments in the finite world. So, karma done by limited instruments or finite instruments in the finite world will give the finite result. So, it cannot give an infinite result. So, karma kim param karma tad jadam, and moreover, it is jada. So, to expect an infinite result from this karma is not possible. And of course, the ascetics also were not happy after acquiring so many powers through the various rituals. So the Lord himself appeared to impart them the right knowledge. Then the problem with karma also, we saw that Kruti Maha Udadav Patana Karanam Phalam Ashashvatam Gati Nirodhakam. So this karma is also the vast ocean, because once we get into that, it is one after the other, it follows. We do karma, we get the results, and the results may be good or bad, it all depends. We do not know what the results will come. But what happens is that the results may come anyway. It may be according to what we wished. It may not be according to what we wished. And therefore, at the end of the day, what happens is that we continuously get sucked into this cycle of karma, one after the other. If you do get the result the way we want it, we are attached to that result. We are attached to that phala. And again, we want to get that result. We experience that, and then we get caught up into this karma. So this karma is a vast ocean. There is no end to that. And that is the patana karanam. That is the cause of our fall. Because when the karma phala is not according to what we willed, or there has been an obstacle in getting the result we want, we couldn't perform the karma, some obstacle came. And then, of course, we'll have an emotion of anger against that obstacle. And in that anger, we may do something which we may regret, we may live to regret. So therefore, it is patana karanam. And then phalam ashashvatam. So finite, limited, ephemeral instruments through which we do karma in the finite, limited world, continuously changing world, impermanent, temporary, fleeting, and therefore the results occurring out of that also will be temporary only. Phalam ashashvatam, impermanent. So all that we do in this world, it will result into ashashvat phala. That is temporary, momentary, fleeting, impermanent, just passing. It will not last. And that is the cause of our progress, gati nirodhakam. That is the cause of our progress on the spiritual path. Ashashvat phala. The problem is that in our eagerness to acquire the results, different results that we want, we do not give attention to the impermanency, impermanent nature of our karma as well as their phala. And then continuously go on. So win the limited world. In the finite world, we have got infinite desires. And our lifespan is also finite. In that finite lifespan, we cannot fulfill that infinite desires. And fulfilling the desires will give only temporary, some joy, pleasure, or happiness, something like that. And then after some time, again, we are back to square one. So therefore, this phalam ashashvatam and gati nirodhakam. That is, the results are temporary, and that is the biggest cause of our obstacle on the path of progress. So therefore, this is not the ultimate way. Now, karma to we have to do. There is no way out. We have to do karma because we cannot live even for a moment without doing karma. So, if we can't live even for a moment without doing any karma, we have to do karma. But again, karma can give good and bad result also. And according to that good and bad result, we have to also experience that. It may be a positive experience, it may be a negative experience also. Now, if we have to do karma, we cannot live without doing karma. We can't say that, okay, this karma is causing the bondage. So let us not do any karma at all. That is again not possible because we cannot live without, even for a moment, without doing any karma. So now, in the third shloka, Bhagavan says the solution he gives is that Ishwararpitam nichayakrutam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. So the karma that we do has to be surrendered at the feet of the Lord. That is the cause of the purification of our mind, and that will also, that is an aid into for mukti, mukti sadhakam. That is aid for moksha, for liberation. Now, Ishwar Arpitam, when we say, then obviously we can't do a negative karma and offer at the feet of the Lord. So we'll be very cautious. We'll have that awareness that because now we are going to surrender all our karma at his feet, so we don't want to do any negative karma which the Lord may dislike, not like. So then that also helps in changing our way of life also, our thinking also, our habits also. Anything that is negative, we start discarding it because now we are offering all our karma at his feet. So that will also help us in getting rid of all the negativities in us. So we should not be offering any food or drink or karma which the Lord may not like. So with this way, we also overcome the negative habits in our own self. And now, to negate the doership notion, so what we do is that we should offer all the action at his feet to the Lord. So now this karma yoga, what is just karma and karma yoga? Everybody does action at every time. All the time we are doing something or the other. But all our karmas doesn't become karma yoga automatically. It is just karma. Karma becomes karma yoga when it is done with nishkama bhava. Nishkama means with no desire for the result or no desire for a particular result. That is also nishkama bhava. And also without any attachment to the result. Then it is nishkama karma. So everybody does karma, but doing karma is not karma yoga when it is done with nishkama bhava, without attachment for the results or without desiring a particular type of result, then only it is karma yoga. So to negate this doership notion, now first thing is that this karta bhava we have to get rid of. Now, getting rid of karta bhava is not so easy. Unless the ego is dissolved, we cannot get rid of this karta bhava. At some corner of the mind, it will be there. Okay, I have done something good for that person. That will be there. That karta bhava will be there. So karta bhava will put us into karma bandhana. So then what we do is that through karma yoga, the locus of doership is then shifted to the Lord. So it is the Lord who is doing it. And through jnana yoga, even this is discarded. That doership notion completely is discarded because through jnana yoga, the purpose of jnana yoga is to dissolve the ego. So then shifting the locus of doership will not arise if once the ego itself is dissolved. So the attitude should be of being a nimitta. How do you surrender the karma, the karta bhava, karma kriya, karma phala, and bhokta bhava? How do we surrender that? The attitude should be that we are just an instrument, nimitta matra, and everything is done by the Lord alone. Because to do karma, we need jnana shakti, ichha shakti, and kriya shakti. The knowledge has to be there. What type of karma we want to do, we need to have that knowledge to do that karma also. Then we have to have the desire also, ichha shakti. So jnana shakti and ichha shakti. And then to do the karma also, we need kriya shakti. And all these shaktis come from the Lord alone. So that bhava has to be there in the background always. So we are just a nimitta, an instrument only, and everything is his. He is the karma, he is the karta, he is the kriya. He is the karma phala data. He is the karma phala bhokta. Everything the Lord alone is. All powers belong to him. So that has to be always at the back of our mind. Therefore, action should be always selfless, niswartha, nishkama, and desireless. So, likewise, the attitude towards his result also. So, the only purpose of doing karma is for the purification of our mind. The karma yoga, what is the purpose of karma yoga on the spiritual path? It is for the purification of the mind. Just by doing karma yoga, one doesn't realize the truth, doesn't realize the self. But karma yoga is an aid. With the help of karma yoga, we can purify our mind, and purified mind is the apt instrument which can aid us, help us in realization of self. So, when the intellect takes the right decision and the body follows it, there is no fall in the action, provided the mind is also, then the purified mind is the cause for liberation, moksha, mukti sadhaka, chitta shodhaka, mukti sadhaka. So the mind has to function within the limits of viveka buddhi, an intellect which can discriminate between what is right, what is wrong, what is nitya, what is anitya, what is sat, what is asat, and so on. Of course, when doing karma, karma in itself is neither good nor bad. So, any karma, it can't be labeled as good or bad as such. So, what decides whether a particular karma was good or bad? It is all decided by several factors. Where the karma is being done, when the karma is being done, on whom the karma is being done, and the most important, the intent behind that karma. What is the intention? What is the intent? Uddeshya. That is the most important factor which will decide whether that particular karma is good or bad. The same karma in a different circumstances with different intention can be good, and in the different circumstances, different place, different time, different person, the same karma can be bad also with different intention. So therefore, karma in itself is neither good or bad, but there are other factors which will decide whether that was good or bad. Again, karma in itself is not binding. What binds us then? The karta bhava, that binds us. One is karta bhava. The other one is that when we engage into desire prompted activities, that can be binding. That will cause bondage. Then the third one is that when we are hell bent upon getting a particular result only, that will also bind us. And then an attachment to the result of karma, that will also bind us. So the factors we should be very clear. Karma in itself is not binding, but there are factors that can bind us with the karta bhava, bhukta bhava, phalasakti, and then duragra for a particular type of result. So that is what will bind us to that karma and karma phala. So then karma phala comes as a sukha also, dukkha also, karma phala, and bhaya also. A particular action we do, there can be, result can be pleasurable also or miserable also. And it can create a kind of fear also. Certain karmas we do, after doing the karma, a fear can manifest in our mind. Whether I should have done that karma or not, I shouldn't have. A regret, a fear, what will be the result? Because while doing the karma, if there is no awareness, see, most of the negative or wrong karma happens when we are not aware. In awareness, that would not happen. We are lost into the flow of the mind, and at that moment of time, we are so caught up in our thoughts, in our emotions, that we take wrong decisions, and then we act and then live to regret it. That causes fear also. So, of course, we have to do karma. We cannot live without karma. Only the dead body is not required to do any karma. So, now Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi gave us, okay, if you have to do the karma, then first step is changing, shifting the locus of doership to the Lord. When that is shifted, that will help us in a big way. This duragra also should not be there. Any kind of duragra that I want a particular result only. So that duragra should not be there. We have done the karma to the best of our abilities and leave it to him. And then accepting the phala, that is also important. So phala has to be accepted as with prasada buddhi. That is important thing. Because when there is duragraha and then we don't get the result as per what we thought, then of course that will cause problem for us. That will put us into different types of emotions, miserable, sorrowful, or even a depressive state. So nishkama karma is important. Now here we have to have prasada buddhi. So karma has to be done with Ishwar Arpana buddhi and the phala has to be accepted as prasada buddhi. Now this, this is an important factor. Our prasada buddhi is only limited to the temple. Inside the temple, we are a devotee. And then what happens is that whatever prasad we get, we accept it. And then we share that prasad with others also. We don't have any duragra in prasad that regarding quantity or quality, I want that type of prasad or this type of prasad or in this much quantity or that much quantity. No. We don't have that buddhi because we are devotee inside the temple. So whatever comes our way, we accept it as Ishwar Prasada and share it with others also. But then this Prasada Buddhi is limited to the temple only because we consider ourselves as a devotee inside the temple. As soon as we are outside the temple, then we are identified with all the other relationships, sambandhas and recognitions and things like that. And Prasada Buddhi goes for a toss. So if we are devotee inside the temple as well as outside the temple, then of course we can extend this prasada buddhi, not just limited to the temple, but outside the temple in all our activities. Whatever the result come, we accept it as his prasad alone. And then when we cheerfully accept it as his prasad, then there is no complaint. But when that doesn't happen, that is when we suffer. So once we have this prasada buddhi, there is no raga dvesha also. Whatever comes our way, that is his prasada, I accept it. Whatever karma I do, I have already offered it at his feet. He is the karta, he is everything. And whatever phala comes through him, whether positive or negative, it doesn't matter to me. Since it has come from him, I'll accept it. So that should be the attitude. Then only we can get rid of this karmic bondage. Now with this shloka, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi now slowly smoothly takes us to Bhakti Yoga. So with the third shloka itself, we started Ishwar Arpitam. So Bhakti has started from there itself. Now we enter into Bhakti Yoga. Now, Bhakti Yoga is the path of devotion. As we have seen, if you have prasada buddhi, a bhakta will always have prasada buddhi. So, that is very important. When we have prasada buddhi, then we don't insist on any particular type of phala. When we don't have prasada buddhi, the positive results of our karma, we accept it very cheerfully. When the negative result come by, then we don't want to accept it. And then we say that it is because of him, because of her, or God has not been fair to me, and all that thing we start saying. But when positive results come, it is all because of my effort, my talent, my skill, and my, everything, my, I and my. There is a story about a tennis player who was a Wimbledon champion. His name is Arthur Ashe. He was the first colored person to be a Wimbledon champion, US. And then he had to be admitted for some procedure, something, some surgery or whatever it required. And then he needed some blood transfusion. Unfortunately for him, he was given transfusion of tainted blood, which was HIV positive. And after this was in the 80s or 90s, early time when this HIV was discovered, detected. That was the time. And of course, till date of allopathic medical system doesn't have any cure for any viral infection. HIV is part of that alone. So then he started getting a lot of letters from his fans that how could God do this to you? Such a great Wimbledon champion and all that thing. You have achieved so much in sports. And how could God do this to you? Give you a disease which has got no cure. So this Arthur Ashe, he replied to one of his fans saying that 5 crore people start playing tennis. From a very young age, from their childhood, they start playing tennis. 50 lakhs actually learn playing tennis. Out of that, 5 lakhs learn professional tennis worldwide. Out of which 50,000 come to the professional circuit. 5,000 reach Grand Slam. 50 reach Wimbledon. 2 get to the semi-finals. 4 get to the semi-finals and 2 finals. And then 1 is the champion. So Arthur, I said that when I won Wimbledon champion, I was holding the trophy. I didn't ask the Lord, why me? Now that I am afflicted with HIV, why should I ask the Lord, why me? That is not fair. So if we have taken both as prasada buddhi, very good. If we have taken both as it is due to my skills, then no one to be faulted about it. I won because with my skills I won. And if I am suffering, it is also because of me alone. Nobody is to be blamed. Either have that buddhi or have prasada buddhi. Everything is his. I accept it. Finish. So when I was holding the Wimbledon trophy, I didn't look at the Lord and say that why me? Why should now I look at the Lord and say why me when I am afflicted with HIV? So this prasada buddhi is very important in bhakti yoga. So here, important thing is that our relationship with the Lord in bhakti yoga is nitya. Every other relationship is temporary. In every birth, we form new relationships. So And that relationship lasts until death. And after that, after death, then everything changes. Then with another birth, then new relationship starts. With every form, then we begin new relationship. So they are all, except the relationship with the Lord, which is none other than our own Sarupa. All other relationships are temporary. And it will last only as long as we are there. Even certain relationships don't last when we are alive also. Some people become friends and then just they fade away. We don't see them again. Some people become friends and because of some reason, then we part ways. And then many of them die also. This way, all the relationship one by one gets over. But our relationship with the Lord will never get over. Param Puja Gurudev always used to say this. However much we may try to hold on to the world, it will slip away. However much we try to get away from the Lord, we cannot escape. So hold on to that which we cannot let go, which will not leave us, and then get rid of that which eventually will slip away. What is the grand idea of holding on to that? So, so this in Ishwar Bhakti only there is Shanti. It is Nitya because it is Nitya. And therefore there will be Nitya Shanti in that. So from Karma Yoga, we naturally enter the Bhakti Yoga. So we'll take up this Bhakti Yoga for discussion now. The fourth shloka. Kaya Vangmana Karyamuttamam Pujanam Japaschintanam Kramat. Kaya Vang Manah Karyam Uttamam Pujanam Japah Chintanam Kramat. Now here Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi talks about how to cultivate that bhakti bhava. So all three has to be used, the body, the speech, and the mind. And then it is serially superior. Superior to body is the speech, superior to speech is the mind. But what are the activities that we can do with the body, with the speech, and with the mind? In the next line, he says, Pujanam, Japaha, and Chintanam. Pujanam, we have to use our body for the puja. Japa is by speech. And Chintanam, we have to use our mind for that. So this is in the serial order. So speech is superior to the gross physical body as it has the power of words. And words are also very powerful. Some words can inspire us. Some words can be depressive also. How we inspire somebody and how we demotivate someone also. All words are very powerful. And it can have a very positive effect also, very negative effect also. Once Mahatma Ji was talking about the Vedic mantras and their chant with different swaras and all that thing. So one person got up and said that they are just words. What is so great about it? What power it can have? So Mahatma Ji, without pausing, started abusing the person who said this. Shouting and screaming and abusing the other person. And the other person again started getting angry. His body was shaking and eyes becoming red and all that. And then immediately Mahatma Ji stopped and he started talking in normal words. Then he said that, I just use a few words and see the changes that is taking place in your body and mind. Your body is shaking, your eyes have become bloodshot, anger is welling in you. So just a few words, that's all. Its effect you see on your own mind, on your own body. Your pressure is shooting up and so on. So if Some ordinary words can have that effect on your body, mind, and these are Vedic mantras. How powerful they must be. So, therefore, Vani, the speech is superior. Speech is superior by the word that we speak, the typical words, the typical mantras that are there. So, therefore, speech is called superior to the actions done by the body. And of course, during meditation, the inner voice, Antarvani, guides us. So this, from the gross body, we need to use the gross body for the puja. When you're doing physically the worship of the Lord, the idol, the Lord is there. We are doing that. So the body is used. And then the speech is also used. Now here, why it is said that one is superior to the other? Speech is superior to the body, or japa is superior to the puja, and then chintan or contemplation is superior to japa. Because in puja, we use all three. We are physically doing the puja, doing the Shodashopchar puja. Physically, we are doing it. We are chanting the mantras also simultaneously. We are chanting the prayers also during the puja. All the mantras are being chanted. And of course, the mind also has to be there. So all three are there. So puja is comparatively easier because there are three support: body and the speech and the mind. When we are doing the japa, there again body is not involved. Then only speech and mind is involved. So that is at a subtler level. So it has got only two support. And then subtler than that is the contemplation, where it is done at the level of the mind, where the body and the speech is not involved. Only the mind is involved. So that becomes subtler and superior, and therefore more difficult also. Puja is comparatively easier. Difficult than puja is the japa at the level of the speech, and difficult than japa is the contemplation at the level of the mind. So therefore, these are serially superior. Now here, puja is of the rupa. The form is there in front of us. The idol is there, and we are worshipping that idol, doing the puja. So puja is always of the rupa, and the japa is of the nama. So rupa and nama, and contemplation or chintanam is of the swarupa. Swarupa, the essential nature. Now we can't do puja of the swarupa because it is nirgun nirakar, no name, no form, no colors, no gunas, nothing. So you can't do puja of such a thing, such an entity rather. So serially it becomes superior, it becomes tougher, difficult also. Like the example here with given in the text is about riding a tricycle is easier compared to a bicycle, and the toughest is riding a single wheel cycle that you see in the circus. For that, a lot of practice is required. So with just mind as a support for contemplation, it becomes difficult because first of all, the very instrument that we'll be using for contemplation, that has to be single pointed and not controlling. Without that, it is not easy. So therefore, serially, this is important. Now, in Bhakti Yoga, important thing is that without Shraddha and Prema, Bhakti is not possible. So, Shraddha and Prema is the prerequisite for Bhakti. What is Shraddha and what is Prema? Shraddha generally, if you translate into other languages, other Indian languages, generally they say Vishwas, or in English we call it faith, but it is an incomplete translation of the word Shraddha. Because therefore, in many of our Indian languages, the word Shraddha is used as it is. In the North India also, South India also, it is used as it is. But If we say Shraddha just as Vishwas, then the meaning is not complete. Shraddha, the meaning of Shraddha is complete when there is an element of surrender added to that. So it is faith plus element of surrender. Vishwas plus the element of Samarpanam. Samarpanam bhava has to be there, totally surrendered. That is Shraddha. So that Shraddha has to be there. And how do we know that we have a total Shraddha? For Shraddha, if we have total Shraddha, there is a test that whether I have total Shraddha or not. Because people, usually when you ask, do you have Shraddha in the Lord? Of course, what are you talking? I do have Shraddha in the Lord. Like some people come and when I ask them how are things with you, everything is fine. And then slowly the person will say that, but Swamiji, regarding this particular thing, I am having some worry. As soon as I hear the word worry, immediately I question, do you have Shraddha in the Lord? Of course, Swamiji, I do have Shraddha. What are you talking, Swamiji? No, but just now you said you are worried about something. Yeah, I've got worry about this thing. I'm worried about that. Okay. So, Shraddha and Chinta cannot stay in the same mind. So there has to be some flaw in your Shraddha that the Chinta has crept in. So like in one scabbard, in one sheath, two swords cannot go. One sword. Similarly, in say same mind, Shraddha and Chinta cannot be. Either you have Shraddha or you have Chinta. Now you decide what is there. If there is a Chinta, that means there is some flaw in Shraddha. The surrender is incomplete. Regarding something you are worried. So Shraddha, when you are surrendered to him, then you will not worry about anything. You have to unload all your worries at his feet. So that means there is certain reservation in completely surrendering. Then you can't call it bhakti. Then it is not devotion. Like there was one person from childhood, he had nobody. So he used to collect wood from the forest and then bring it in the village market and sell it. And that is how he used to earn his livelihood. In the old age also, since nobody was there, he had to go to the forest and bring the wood and somehow earn his livelihood. But in old age, of course, he was slow. He could carry not much load also. So once during summertime, he collected some wood from the forest, put it on his head, and he was walking slowly towards the market and he was sweating profusely also. It was summertime, the heat. And incidentally, at that time, the king of that region, he happened to come along in his chariot. So then he saw this old man and he thought, let me do some good work. Once in a while, at least we should have that thought of doing some good karma. So he stopped his chariot and he thought that he will give this old man a lift and drop him wherever he wants to go. So he told the old man to sit in the chariot and enjoy the ride and he will drop him wherever he wants to go. So this old man was very happy. So he climbed the chariot and sat down. And after some time, when the king looked at the old man, he saw that old man was still holding the wood that he had collected from the forest on his head. So the king told him, now you relax and enjoy the ride also. Put that load of wood on the chariot. So the old man tells him that, no, it doesn't look nice. I should not take undue advantage of your kindness. Out of kindness, you have given me a lift in your chariot. And now I should put my load of wood also in on your chariot. That doesn't look good. That is taking undue advantage of your kindness. So what difference will it make to the chariot, whether the old man keeps the load of wood on his head or on the chariot? It doesn't make any difference at all. But to the old man, it will make a difference. He can relax and enjoy the ride also. This is exactly what we do when Shraddha is not complete. We may go to the temple, we may do the namaskar, pranam, touch the foot or forehead on his feet. And while getting up from there, we don't unload all our chinta at his feet, all our worries at his feet. Like this old man, we continue carrying that load. And therefore, that is the reason why, because there is no complete surrender. The chinta we have to carry with us. We have to also, when we do the pranams there, we surrender completely, we unload all our chinta at his feet and get up light. We have to experience it actually. This is something to be experienced, not just spoken of. And then be worry free that I've all unloaded everything at his feet. Let him take care of everything. I'm not worried about that. I'm surrendered to him. Let him take care. Whatever he decides for me, I'll accept it. That is how it should be. So this Shraddha has to be there with the bhavana of samarpanam and prema. There is a difference between prema and asakti. Most of the time, we we mistake asakti or attachment for prema. Attachment is behind every attachment, there will be a reason. As long as there is a reason behind an attachment, then it is an attachment behind anything. We call it, oh, I love so and so. Well, so many people say that I love so and so and all that. Just ask the reason. Why do you love that person? Immediately come up with the reason. Because he is very talented, or she sings very well, or very intelligent, or something like that. So if that person loses that talent or the singing skills and things like that, his so-called love for that person will also disappear. Because it was not a love, it was an attachment to some quality in that person. And if that person loses that quality, the so-called love will also disappear. So prema is unconditional, always. Prema is always pure, it is unconditional. Attachment is conditional. Attachment has got a reason. And people most of the time mistake an attachment for love, for prema, and then they suffer. So prema for the Lord, nishkama, prema without any conditions, unconditional love. No expectation whatsoever from him. That's it. Whatever he'll do good for me, and I've got no expectation other than that. He has all, whether I get a negative experience, that is also his phala, it is for my own good. That is the attitude of bhakta. When a bhakta is going through a negative experience, he doesn't blame the Lord. Why you have given me this and that and all that. He says that this Lord has given me this, that there must be something good behind this. For my own good, he has given me this negative experience. That can happen only when samarpanim is there and totally surrendered. Then, so therefore, this prema, unconditional prema. Otherwise, most of the time it is all attachment for some purpose. Something is there because of which we are attached. Some benefit we get from somewhere, and then we are attached to that person. As soon as we stop getting that benefit from that person, that so-called attachment also disappears. So in Shuddha Prema, unconditional love, there is no attachment. Whatever comes from that Lord, from my Ishtadevta, it has come from him, I'll accept it. Even if he gives me poison also, I'll take it. There's no problem with that. There may be some good in that also. If it has come from him, then I'll accept it. So that is Shuddha Prema. So Shraddha and Prema. Without Shraddha and Prema, there cannot be any Bhakti. So when we are on the path of devotion, this is the most important factor. Shraddha and Prema. With Samarpan Bhavana. So now in the next shlokas, Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi will discuss Puja, Japa and Chintana. Serially. Fifth shloka. Jagat Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Bhru Deva Pujanam. Jagat Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam. So, Ashtamurti Bhrut Deva Pujanam. So now this is all about the puja. Now, Jagata Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam, the service of the world itself with the attitude of the service of the Lord. Because the entire world, entire creation, entire Srishti is his form alone. Ashtamurti Bhrut Deva Pujana. Ashtamurti Bhrut. Why the entire creation is his form? Because of this Ashtamurti Bhrut. Ashtamurti Bhrut means not uh, 8 idols, 8 murtis. Ashtamurti Brud means Panchamahabhuta, they are the 5 elements. And then we have the moon and the sun and Jiva. Moon represents all the grahas, all the planets, and sun represents all the luminous entities in the universe, in the cosmos, and Jiva represents all the living beings, all the pranis. So then the entire creation comes in that by saying Ashtamurti Brut. So Jagata Ishadi, then worship of the Lord is this Ashtamurti Brut, Seva of the world, Jagata Seva. So now Puja, first this shloka is exclusively on Puja. We should understand the purpose of Puja also, and then how it has to be done. This we may have discussed it earlier also. Puja is an interactive session with our Ishta Devata. It is not just an idol made up of clay or stone or metal idol in front of us, and then we are doing all the upchar on that. No, it is Sakshat Lord sitting there. We have done the Avahanam. He has come there, he's sitting there, we have given him the asana, and then we are having an interactive session. So that is how it should be done. Whether it is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the time may be. It has to be an interactive session. And that is actually a personal meeting with him. Nothing should be involved there. Phones all should be switched off. Nothing should be allowed at that time. And if a puja is at such time that there will be somebody ringing the doorbell or somebody coming or going around that thing, then change the time of your puja at much earlier time when nobody will disturb us. The Brahma Muhurta, that is the best time to do the puja. So that there will be no disturbance. Absolutely. It is a personal meeting between us and our Ishta Devata. No one should interfere in that. And the mind, the body, mind, prana, everything should be limited to that puja room alone. During that period, it should not go out of it. Focusing fully on our Ishta Devata, we are doing the Upchara, we are also talking to him. We are discussing with him while we are doing the Upchara, we are also asking him. So, when we are offering the Nevedya also, then we are asking how the Nevedya is good, the taste is good. This is an interactive session that is going on. And not just going through the mechanical movements. Yes, I have to do this. This is a ritual I have to do every day. So as soon as possible, I want to get rid of it. That should not be the attitude. It is our Ishta Devata, and we can't offer a few minutes to him without any interference at all. Absolutely. It is very important that we have to do this puja with that intention alone. So it is an interactive session. So nobody should interfere in that. It should be I and my Ishta Devata. So this idol worship is needed. Why do we need idol worship? Because we are identified with a form. We are identified with our own body. So as long as we are thoroughly identified with our own body, we need a form to worship. We cannot even imagine Sagun Nirakar. Forget about Nirgun Nirakar. Even Sagun Nirakar we cannot imagine. So it has to be Sagun Sakar alone, as long as we are thoroughly identified with our body. So it has got a purpose. Everything is a step. You see, now here in the previous shloka, it was said that puja, japa, and chintanam. One is superior to the other. So chintanam, japa is superior to the puja, and chintanam is superior to japa. So if somebody says that, okay, chintanam is the supreme most. So why I should waste my time in puja and japa? I can directly go to chintanam. It will not happen. Because if there is a ladder, we have to climb it. We can't climb directly on the highest rung. You have to take the first step and start climbing. Otherwise, you'll slip and fall if you try to attempt that. Are we qualified for that or not? That is the first important thing. It is all qualification. Somebody says that ultimately we have to get a degree. So why go through all the schools and things like that? Let me sit for the final year and get a graduation degree. No, it's not possible. He has to go through all that process. The school, then the junior college and senior college, then only he can get to that degree. So the steps are there. We cannot miss that step. So puja is also in the same way. Puja, idol worship is required as long as we are thoroughly identified with our own body. And puja becomes easier because then all the three things are involved. Our body, our speech, our mind, all three are involved in that. So it becomes easier. Slowly we can shift with practice, we can shift our focus from puja with dravya, we can move on to manas puja. Manas puja also will be very powerful. For manas puja also, we need to get our mind single pointed, concentrate. Now the purpose of puja, we have to understand that the purpose of puja is what? Purpose of puja is to increase our bhakti bhava, our shraddha. And very important one is that to make our mind also single pointed, increase our concentration level, make our mind single pointed. That is the purpose of this puja. So once we begin with this puja, first we start with the idol, and then the nama is also there with that. And then we try to understand the ideal behind the idol. When we start attending the satsangs, then we know, okay, this is the deity I am worshipping every day. I didn't know so many things about this deity. So we read the stories of our deity, of our Ishta Devta, and then the ideal that deity represents, and so on. So every object has got its form, its name, and its swarupa. So rupa and nama and swarupa, that is the essential nature. So with this worship, with the puja also, it is very good practice to make our mind also single pointed, increase our bhakti bhava also, increase our shraddha also. And then slowly we progress, we get eager to know the ideal behind the idol of our Ishta Devata. Through satsangs, we come to know about it. And then our intensity also increases during the puja time. So then, after that, once we know the ideal behind the idol, then a particular nama rupa is not that important, because the ideal behind all idols is the same. Essential nature behind every nama rupa is the same. Every devata is the same, every nama rupa is same, because here Ramana Maharishi is clearly said, Ashtamurti Bhrut Deva Pujanam. The entire creation is Ashtamurti Bhrut, born out of these five elements, produced out of these five elements, the entire creation, and that is his form, God's form, Ishwar's form. So Deva Pujanam. So here, this factor is very important. Then Vishesha Nama Rupa is not required. The whole world is the form of the Lord. The whole world is the form of the Lord. So we should serve the whole world, not just doing our puja, service to the world, seva. That is his worship, his puja. So because either in whole or in part, the entire world, the entire creation is his form alone. So while serving the part also, we are serving the whole, we are serving the part also, we should not have any dvesha for the other parts. Otherwise, I serve this part, that part is no good, I will not serve that part. That should not be there. That bhavana should not be there. I serve one part, other part is not good. Like the famous story about two disciples serving the same guru, each pressing a different leg. One pressing the right leg, the other pressing the left leg. And if the left leg comes on the right leg, immediately the one pressing the right leg will beat it up. And the other way around. Finally, Guruji said, both are my legs. If you want to serve, you serve, otherwise leave. So when we are serving a part, that means, doesn't mean that we should have a dvesha bhavana, a dislike for the other parts. The entire existence is his form alone. Ashtamurti Brud. So service to the world is the service of the Lord. This should be the attitude always. So in the eightfold forms we have seen the five elements, then the moon and the sun and jiva. Moon, of course, represents all the heavenly bodies. Sun represents all the luminous bodies. And the jiva represents all the living beings, all the pranas, all the pranis. So with this attitude, the puja has to be done. Service to the Lord. Service of the world is service to the Lord. Having said that, then the next mantra we'll take up in our next session. Now, our next session will be, of course, next Friday. I'm not here. I'm going for a program to Udaipur. So Friday after that, maybe on the 14th. Now, if anybody have got any questions, anyone has any questions, they can ask.
Any question from anybody? Hari Om. Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om. Yes.
Last 1 week,
Hmm.
having little confusion about certain matter.
Hmm.
I'm going little out of the today's syllabus.
Hmm.
It's about the 3 states of consciousness.
Uh-huh.
The appropriate word is 3 planes of mind.
Hmm.
Now, the waker, dreamer, and the deep sleeper.
Hmm.
The substratum is Turiam,
Hmm.
or the pure consciousness.
Hmm.
If this pure consciousness is projecting in the waking state as a waker,
Hmm.
in dreaming state as the dreamer,
Hmm.
and in the deep sleep, he withdraws actually, he's not projecting anything.
Hmm.
So in ultimate analysis,
Hmm.
isn't it, Swamiji,
Hmm.
that this is a play of consciousness which is going on?
Play of.
And nowhere, and as yet, as you said today,
Hmm.
nowhere doership and the enjoyership come in between.
Hmm.
I just want to throw light on the thoughts that are coming to my mind.
Actually, consciousness is indivisible, one
Hmm,
whole. And this division of the three states called waking state and dream and deep sleep state,
hmm,
it is only for explanation of certain things. Otherwise, consciousness itself is indivisible.
hmm,
It is one and indivisible. That's it. And then, of course, in that, for explaining something, we say that, okay, then waking plane of consciousness, the dream state of consciousness, and then the deep sleep state of consciousness, and so on, we say. But the consciousness is same. And in fact, I had said this earlier also, that we as the pure self pervade in and through everything. Our presence is there without the division of this waking, dream, and the deep sleep state.
hmm,
So that which is in the waking plane of consciousness without being a waker.
hmm.
And in the dream state of consciousness without being the dreamer,
hmm,
and the deep sleep state of consciousness without being a deep sleeper.
hmm,
That is the pure self. That is what we are. That is a
hmm,
continuous, indivisible, non-stop, nitya, always present. So these divisions we have made because that is from the standpoint of the jiva. Because for Jiva to understand one supreme reality, the pure awareness, indivisible, homogeneous, unbreakable, continuous, non-stop it is, all
hmm,
pervasive, that is difficult to understand. So we begin with these three states of consciousness and things like that. But then when we are talking about this, the absolute truth is pervading in and through all these so-called three states. They are actually projections on that absolute truth.
hmm.
Absolute truth, the pure self is the substratum on which the waking dream and the deep sleep state is projected on.
Right.
So therefore, there should be absolutely no confusion regarding this. There
Hmm,
is no such thing as deep sleep and dream state or deep sleep state. As regards water is concerned, there is no question of any waves or ocean or river or bubbles of or surf or things like that. It is water alone. Then who is making these divisions? Oh, that is water, this is ice, that is steam, this is water vapor, that is waves, that is bubble. So this is from the relative standpoint, these divisions are being made in that one which is indivisible in the same water. So it should be very clear that one pure self in and through everything, and whatever is seen by the charma chakshu is only projections on that.
hmm,
The dream state is the projection of the individual mind, and the waking state is the projection of the total mind.
hmm,
But nevertheless, both are equivalent to dream only. Even the waking state is also equivalent to dream only. As a dreamer, the dream world is real to us. Nobody who is a dreamer in the dream world, when a tiger is chasing, will say that, oh, this is just a dream. I can just hang around here. The tiger will not do anything to me. Afterwards, it is an illusion. No. He will be running helter-skelter to escape from the tiger. But only when
hmm,
he wakes up to the waking plane of consciousness, then only he calls that as an illusion. No, it was just a dream, it was an illusion. But as a dreamer, he didn't take it as a dream, as an illusion. It was real for him. Similarly, in the waking plane of consciousness also, this is real to us because we are experiencing it. As a dreamer, for the dreamer, the dream world is real. For the waker also, the waking world is as real. But only when we awaken to a higher state of consciousness called as Turiya from this waking plane of consciousness, then from that state, then we'll call this waking plane also as nothing more than the dream state. Then we'll not take anything seriously in this also.
hmm.
So this is because we are the dreamer in the dream world, so the dream world is real to us. The waker in the waking world, so waking world is real to us. When we rise above the waking plane of consciousness into a higher dimension of consciousness, and from that standpoint, then we say that there is nothing other than the pure self.
Okay, Swamiji.
Hmm.
So if wave has to progress in its understanding that it is water, it has to shade the form
Hmm.
of being a wave.
Hmm.
So as far as the seeker is concerned, is it not necessary for him to transcend his body, mind, and intellect totally? And uh, as you said, even in bhakti also today, you said
Hmm.
you have to become a one with the Lord or one with the self
Hmm.
by transcending the our equipments, body, mind, and intellect equipments.
Hmm. Yes, bhakti is also, bhakti will also take us to the same destination
Hmm,
because a bhakta, when his bhakta reaches the parakashta level, bhakta and the object of his bhakti, they become one, and then they realize, then he realizes the non-dual reality.
hmm,
So that also Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi will discuss in this Bhakti Yoga. That is ultimately it is bhakta becoming one with the object of his devotion, his Ishta Devata.
hmm. So So you mean to say that in the deep devotion,
Hmm.
the form of the Lord and form of the Bhakta disappear,
Yeah. Then it is non-dual reality.
non-dual reality. Thank you very much, Swamiji. Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
shall we conclude?
we can call it a day.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om.
हरिओम स्वामी।